Hi everyone, today we will talk about a basic RAG application which is perfect for beginners. You can clone the repo from the link in the description below, and you can also add this project to your resume, which is a great highlight for an AI or an ML engineering role. So let's just dive into the video and learn more about what RAG is and how we can implement it as a chatbot. So, what is RAG and why do we even need to use it? RAG stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation. So, it is used because traditional LLMs they are trained up to a certain date and they are trained on a specific data. They do not have information besides the training data which they are trained upon. For example, if I have to ask a question about my own personal life, which is not included in the training data, it won't be able to answer. For example, if I ask what's my mother's name, the LLM won't be able to answer, which is why we use a RAG approach. Now, in this, we pass our own data along with the query to the LLM for the LLM to generate a relevant answer based upon our data. This is exactly what RAG is. Now, RAG has two major steps. First is the ingestion of the docs. We have to ingest the docs into a vector database, and then after we are done ingesting them, we can query the documents from the vector database and we can retrieve the context. Then we can send it to the LLM to generate the answer. I will describe each step in detail. Now, during ingestion, what happens is there are a few steps such as chunking and converting those chunks into text embeddings, and then we ingest those text embeddings into a vector database. Chunking is necessary because there is a token limit set by an LLM beyond which it cannot accept the inputs. We need to chunk the entire document into pieces. We can specify the piece depending upon our own requirements and the limitations set by the LLM which we are using. After we are done chunking the documents, we convert those chunks into vector embeddings. So vector embeddings are nothing but mathematical representation of the text. In this, what happens is the chunk text is converted into a vector embedding. After we create a vector embedding, we then ingest them into a Pinecone vector database. You can use any other database such as Milvus or ChromaDB, but in this tutorial we are using Pinecone. To initialize an index in a vector database, you will have to log into the website, and after you do that, you will be taken into something like this where I have two indices with me, RAG chatbot and basic RAG chatbot. You have to specify these index into the code. We'll walk through the code as well. After you are done ingesting the chunks into the vector database, we are ready to query. So when we query, the query text is converted into a text embedding, which is then used to match the semantic similarity with the embeddings which we have ingested into the vector database. After obtaining the most similar embeddings, which provide the context for the answer, we send the context to the LLM along with the query for the LLM to generate the answer based upon the context and the query. This is the basic functionality of a RAG application. After doing this, we can also specify the domains of the input documents, such as we can specify that finance related documents they go into a certain domain, and then when we need to query a finance question, we query only that domain to get the specific answer. Now, this approach has a bit of limitations which we will cover in the last of this video. Now let's dive into the code. The GitHub repo link to this particular code base is in the description, so you can go to the GitHub repo and clone it. After you clone it, you will get into a page like this, which is the driver script. It's a Streamlit app. You can run it and the Streamlit app will open it. I will demo the whole functionality also of this in a while, but I will walk you through what steps are we taking. So when we upload a document, we take out the document name, which is necessary for us to query the particular document when a query is asked. After we do this, we chunk the documents like I discussed. For chunking, we use LangChain text splitter module, and from that we import the recursive character text splitter class. We read the PDF. Now, for the sake of simplicity, we are taking only the PDF inputs, but you can also add the Word documents or Excel files also, and you can read through those files and you can ingest the data into the vector database. After we read from the PDF file, we chunk the text and we create a list of chunks. After chunking, we will first convert the chunks into text embeddings. For that, we are using the text embedding ADA, which is from OpenAI. It's a model from OpenAI. That's what we are using for creating the text into embeddings. After we create the embeddings from the chunks, we ingest those embeddings into a Pinecone vector database. You will have to get your own Pinecone API key, which is a fair and square process. If you want me to explain how to get that, please comment below. I will make a separate video on how to initialize a vector database. After we are done with that, we will initialize our index, which can be done through the code itself, or you can directly go to the website and initialize an index. In this case, the name of our index is basic RAG chatbot, and then we ingest every embedding into the vector database. Also, we are giving a namespace as the document name. Like I spoke before, you can specify a domain also, and you can query from that particular domain to get specific answers from a particular domain. Now we have ingested a document into the vector database. While querying the document, we will first get the context from the query. Now, the context will be fetched from the vector database. We will convert the query text into a query vector using the text embedding model. We're importing it from the indexing chunks module. And after we have converted the query vector, we will send it to query the vector database. We are also specifying the namespace which I spoke about before, which will be the document name in this case, but it could be a domain specific or it could be a domain level namespace as well. Now, top case suggests that top two documents which are the most similar will be fetched. After we get the top two ranking items from the vector database, we send the topmost of it to the LLM to get the answer. So this is the code to get the answer from the LLM. We have given a prompt in which we are saying that given the context, you can answer the query which follows the context. Make sure to answer only from the context, and if the answer is not present in the context, you say you don't know. And here is the context and the question. Now, this is the prompt which gives us the good results. That is why we are using this. And after we are done giving the prompt, we get the response from the LLM. Let's just demo the whole application. So I have a PDF with me. It's about global warming. We will try inputting the PDF and then querying it. To do that, you will have to first activate the Streamlit app. Streamlit application is up and running. We will browse the file and we will drop the global warming. File is uploaded successfully. In the backend, what is happening is the file is being chunked, then chunks are converted into embeddings, and embeddings are stored into the vector database. After we are done with that process, we will get an option to input a query and get the answer to it. We have to wait for some time for that. Like this. Okay. Now we have selected a document which we entered. We have selected this particular document. We will answer a question. Let's just talk about. So we can ask an answer. We can ask a query about the effects of global warming on living beings, and let's see what the answer that we get. says that global warming can severely affect the health of living beings. Excess heat can cause stress. Okay, yeah. This is something which is in the PDF as well. But there are certain limitations which I spoke about earlier in the basic RAG application, which is that sometimes we might not get the most relevant answer, which has few reasons to it. Like the query cannot be matched with the relevant context, even though the query has that meaning. So, which is why we need to parse the query again before we send it to match with the context in the vector database. And also, after we get the data, the context from the vector database, we need to re-rank the context, because sometimes the topmost context might not be the most relevant to the query. So, which we will cover in the next video. By the way, thank you for watching this video.